What's going on, everybody? It's Zach, back again with another review. Today, I'm going to be talking about the new Ari Aster movie, Eddington. Now, this film stars Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone, Michael Ward, Austin Butler, Deirdre O'Connell, and Luke Grimes, and William Bellio, who I'll right off the top, William Bellio was really good in this movie. He played Officer Jimenez, Butterfly Jimenez, I think is what his name was. The guy who played the Pueblo police officer. He was awesome. He was in Killers of the Flower Moon. Anyway, so this movie, it's about, I'm just going to tackle this beast head on. This movie is a movie about COVID. It does not pull any punches in regards to illustrating how fucking stupid we all were during peak COVID in May of 2020. This film, if you are easily offended, please do not go see this movie, because there are things that happen in it that could be taken one way or another way, and it doesn't. I'll start the review off by saying this: if you don't think this movie takes a side, you are genuinely brain dead. For real. I'm sorry to say. But, because if you think this movie is, right wing or anything of the sorts, it's really not. It's not at all. It just has right wing characters in it. That's another thing I want to talk about with this. This movie isn't even inherently that political. It's not making a statement. It's not trying to be this hot button issue film. It's just a Western that just so happens to take place during one of the worst times in modern human history. Joaquin Phoenix plays Sheriff Joe Cross, who is an archetype of a Western hero, but is also, because even in the score by Bobby Krilic and Daniel Pemberton, a lot of the score is that stereotypical Western horns that you hear, and this Joe Cross dude doing the most heinous bullshit ever. Pedro Pascal is in this as well. As I said at the top of the review, he plays Ted Garcia, who is the other mayor in this mayoral race. I didn't even describe the plot of this movie. So the plot of this film is Joe Cross, who's played by Joaquin Phoenix, decides to run for mayor after having an anti-mask incident in a grocery store, and the story kind of takes flight from there. I don't really want to get into deep spoilers, because I know that a lot of people probably haven't seen this movie yet and probably won't, but whatever. I just want to be respectful to the filmmakers. I think that Ari Aster is one of the best filmmakers to come out of my generation of filmmakers. I think that what Ari Aster was able to do with this material, people are accusing him of both sidesing as well, which I vehemently disagree with. This film, it's not, like I said before, it's not really meant to be a political statement. It's more of just an absurd, almost South Parkian comedy about how fucking stupid we all were in this time. I think that the highlight of the film for me was definitely Austin Butler's performance in the limited screen time that he has as the sort of Andrew Tate, child whisperer dude, I guess. I don't know. He's supposed to be a self-help kind of there were a lot of people in that time that were trying to be this self-help, and they were trying to peddle their conspiracies, and I think that Ari and Austin Butler get that across pretty good. I'm going to say one of the funniest parts of this movie, and I will spoil the end, is one of my favorite characters in this film is probably the character of Brian, just because of specifically how his character, the end, his his character's endpoint is one of the funniest reveals of this whole movie for me. The anagram of who he turns out to be, like, in regards to, like, the people that he's referencing, is absolutely fucking hilarious. There is a title card during that end scene that made both my friend and I absolutely piss our pants with laughter. This movie's funny as fuck. I'm really happy that Ari has the balls to put up a mirror to our society and just show us how stupid we still are. Like, there are a lot of things that happen in this movie that still happen in day-to-day life, and I really hope that people kind of watch this and realize how ignorant, especially like a certain side of the political spectrum. But what I was saying about Joaquin earlier is I think that this movie might be his best performance since The Master. The way that he plays Joe Cross, like, even as the film goes on, like, he keeps doing more heinous shit, and you are stuck in his, like, the whole film is in the POV of Joe Cross, so even when he does something as fucked up as killing the local homeless man, you are still stuck in that POV as he continues to just commit the worst crimes ever. And I think that the fact that Ari chose to do that, as opposed to kind of giving this movie a more neutral point of view and just kind of focusing on different members of the town, was really genius. Like, the fact that you were in Joe Cross's shoes the whole time. The ending of this film is going to be something that a lot of people debate. I think that the ending of this movie is an incredible test case for Ari Aster to direct an action film. I think that one shot in particular where Joaquin is in the town square with his machine gun and the camera kind of dollies around his POV to show the paranoia, I thought that was genius. Darius Kanji shot this movie, and I have to be honest and say this is probably my favorite, like the best one of Ari's films has ever looked. I think that they use that kind of golden hour Western cinematography in a really genius way. I was kind of worried because Darius Kanji was shooting this digitally, and I was really kind of worried to see how that image would come out, and I'm pleased to say that I was not disappointed with the cinematography of this film. I think that, like, if I were to compare this to a movie, honestly, it reminded me a lot of, like, an Altman / Coens type thing, like, early Coens, like, Raising Arizona type stuff. If, like, this movie is honestly very Raising Arizona coded, if I'm being real. I could be completely wrong, and I love how I'm saying that in my review for Eddington, but if you disagree, you can come at me in the comments. Another performance I really liked in this movie was Deirdre O'Connell, just because I used to have somebody in my family who acted just the way that Louise's mother does in this film, and to deal with that and to see the way that Joaquin, his character, deals with that, and, like, the way that, especially, like, this movie is so fucking funny, guys. It's the funniest shit ever, and maybe it's because I have a, like, twisted sense of humor, but I liked a lot of the humor in this film. It really worked for me. I don't really know what else to say other than that. I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble about what is probably the best film of the year so far. I'm going to give Eddington 4.5 out of 5 on my rating scale. Yeah, go see this one. It's a really fun time. If you are easily offended, don't go see it, because you'll get offended and then yell about it. But, I don't know. I thought this movie was really well done. I thought it was, yeah. Kudos to Ari, and I will be I almost just said front row. I will be first in line for whatever this man makes forever, because he is a genius, and just, yeah, this movie fucking rocks, guys. 4.5 out of 5. Please like, share, and subscribe if you liked listening to me ramble about Eddington. Also, before I end this review, actually, one of my favorite parts of this movie is the different sight gags that are in it, especially on Joe's police truck when he's running for mayor. Like, the amount of, like, shitty COVID memes that are on the... Like, don't let Eddington, New Mexico turn into Facebook, New Mexico. I fucking loved all that shit. Like, I'm Canadian. I lived in Alberta during COVID, so I had to deal with a lot of people that were similar to the way that Joe Cross lives his life. And it was just so fucking accurate, dude. Like, so many people. The COVID was nonsense, and I'm glad that we are out of it, but the problem is not, like, COVID. And I think that's what the point of this movie is that it's not really COVID I've heard Ari talk about in interviews that COVID, and I agree with his point, COVID was kind of the linchpin for the way that we live life to kind of just go away. Like, the way pre-pandemic, there used to be a sense of decorum around the world, but since we were all trapped into our homes, it was like all that decorum has gone away. And I think that's what this movie's about. And it's kind of, I appreciate how it kind of ends on like a bit of a bleak note of like, you know what, guys, we're all fucked. Because we are, if we're being real. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next review. 4.5 out of 5, Eddington. Go see this fucking movie. Toodles.